So this lesson is another one of my lessons where I'm going to be talking about bar chords and how important understanding our bar chords is to navigating the fretboard, improvising, making up fills, and making up solos. Let's get in there and check it out. The progression is C, A minor, D minor, G, which is I got rhythm, I got music, I got my girl, who can ask for anything more? That's the super great old time progression, great one for practicing chord changes or any concept you have. Yeah, it's a good one to work on. So I'm not playing out of my cowboy position chords, which I could do fills there too, but this was still kind of playing around with this bar chord thing because for me this is really important and useful to me, and I think everybody as a guitar player, really knowing the crap out of your bar chords. So we got a C bar chord. That's a root 5 bar chord. That's 3, 5, 5, 5. That's the anchor point for any of the playing that you see me do. We got an A minor bar chord. That's a root 6. Well, that's 5, 7, 7, 5, 5, 5. That's the anchor point for any of the fills I do there. D minor bar chord. 5, 7, 7, 6, 5. That's a root 5 bar chord. Again, the root is down there. And of course G, down there at our 3rd fret. Now a couple of things about that. I chose this progression because it has root 6 and root 5 bar chords. When I say that, what I mean is root 6. The root is down here on the 6th string. Root 5, the root is on the 5th string. Now it is of importance when you practice your bar chords. I really don't recommend always just thinking bar chord means my pointer finger covers as many as possible. I really recommend on your root 5s only covering up to the 5th string. It sends a weird signal to your brain. I see my students do this. That gets messy and also can be confusing in your brain. So if you do that, I would advise you to stop doing that. So on a major chord, you can always construct a fill or a solo using a major pentatonic scale. Here's C, here's a C major pentatonic scale. And so the fill is just straight out of the Hendrix playbook. I do the chord, I do a little fill, and so that's sliding from 5 to 7. Watch how precise I am with this pointer finger. So notice, I'm not at a bluesy angle anymore, and my fingers aren't diagonal, because I wouldn't be able to get... That note would get choked out if I'm in that kind of angle, which is great for blues lead playing, but when I gotta be delicate and do these Hendrix things, I rotate around. That one right there, see how I had to drop my shoulder? To be able to get that note both times. A lot of my students, I show them this and they come back with not the same. Not as delicate. That's an A minor chord, so that means I can use a blues scale, a minor pentatonic, to construct fills. We all know that one, that's the first scale we know. See those angles? Yeah, you're really trying to get that sound. Nah. Can't have that choked out. The D G minor, I am thinking of a D minor pentatonic. This is a scale we often forget. It's a root 5 minor pentatonic scale. One of the most useful scales you could know and might not know that you know, or might not know. If you don't know it, then know it. Because yeah, it's the blues scale that starts here on our 5th string as opposed to our 6th string. You can see it's useful. The fill I do there is, again, straight from the Hendrix playbook. Let's see if I get it. It's a super duper pinky workout. Yeah, you'll hear him do that one often. It's really hard to do like the way he does it. And then a G fill, which again, straight out of Hendrix Little Wing playbook. Oh, can I get it? Yeah, so there's our G. And again, if that's a G chord and it's a major chord, root 6, I'm thinking major pentatonic. And yeah, one of the fills I know he does often with a major pentatonic is he takes, what's that, 2 and 3, pinky. That's a harder one, especially on this guitar. This guitar has the old 7.25 really curved fretboard and 1 5/8 nut. I'm making excuses for my inability to get it cleanly, but these old Mustangs have really tiny little curvy necks, so that's a hard one to get. Okay, so that's what I did the first time, and then, just to be even more interesting, I brought in the idea of sixes or Memphis notes to this. Because that's another thing I'll often use for constructing guitar parts or even solos. So again, I'm still thinking here, and again, this is the same thing. It's always connected to this. I just know, like, this is okay, I'm in C. Here's my C zone. 5 and 5, 3 and 3, 2 and 1. Oh, look at that. It connects both of our C shapes. And that's just, the brown-eyed girl things. What key am I in? That's where those come from. It's a harmonized major scale. And again, so for me, for every single major chord I have that looks like this, I can go. That's the magic of guitar. Everything you learn once, you can do again and again. A minor. That's up here, built off of. So again, in my brain, I make a little folder on my mind desktop, root 6 minor chord. If you look like that, then therefore I can always do 5 and 5, 7 and 7, 9 and 8. Again, same thing, harmonized scale. So again, boop, 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 boop. Program it, store it away, moving on. Root 5 minor chords, a D minor. Where are my 6s there? There they are. Again, harmonized scale. For every single minor chord that looks like this now, I know that I can. That is, again, built off of that shape. This is all coming back to this right here. This is my zone. This is my anchor point to being able to do cool stuff. I know that I can go and then just, file it away. I know that I can back it up to 5 and 5, and back it up to 3 and 3. That one's a little confusing because it leaves the shape, but ultimately there is a D minor shape here. So in my mind they are connected still, but you might not know that arpeggio yet. Or you might. And then the G, yeah, this is straight ass soul man. Again, okay, boop, 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 G folder, open, new file, create, root 6 major form, 6s, Memphis notes. There they are, built right out of the shape, starting with those 2 notes. 5 and 5, 7 and 7. Again, you can do neat stuff. You can do them together, or you can do them separate. And landing, you know, that's a C chord again. Oh no, now it's a root 6. So I guess in review, the main thing is like your bar chords are they're just everything. It's just, that's how you get around the fretboard. There's a lot of systems for getting around the fretboard. There's the cage system and scales and things like that, but you know, and those might work for you. All I can say is what works for me is knowing my bar chords, understanding who's what, when, where, why, and how, and then I have just, you know, again, stored away in an organized system in my mind. I have all sorts of little licks for every single chord shape I ever make, stolen from all the guitar players I like. And guess what? That's what they did too. Well, I hope that's interesting and helpful for you. Thanks so much for watching.